screamed and cheered and leaped off the couch about the prospect of writing for Stephanie Blythe, who is a hero of mine. So it's actually musically not that difficult because she can sing what's written up the octave. Of course, we're adding a lot more to that. The first thing that I did was a literal translation from the German. And then I thought about how we can make it more tailored toward her, both her strengths as a singer and an actress, and also make the story a meaningful and compelling one for her. Um, I should backtrack a little bit and say that the other component, the other source material for this was a particular series of online celebrity tutorials, which we will not name, but that was also supposed to be part of the framework for this. So for those who are not familiar with the original Telemann piece, it's about a cranky school music teacher who cannot get his unruly students to do what they need to do. But at the end, the message is ultimately just, I really want to instill in you a love of music. The scenario that was not present in the original Telemann is that due to an administrative mishap, let's say, Stephanie's character Alice ends up teaching at a venue or to a venue that she did not think she would be teaching to at all. She thought she would be with some very sophisticated professional conservatory students, and she ends up talking to some folks at a community college in Middletown, Indiana. And I was fascinated by the idea of Middletown and people's provincial conceptions about what Middle America is. And Middletown is so interesting because there are many Middletowns around the United States. Indiana is not the only one, but also Middletown was the subject of this survey that started almost 100 years ago, where they were trying to figure out the details of the least outstanding American town. But it was, of course, filtered through whiteness, through certain lenses that left out a lot of people and a lot of different kinds of music making. And luckily, Ball State University has this amazing archive of oral histories of people who lived in Middletown over the last century. And there was a lot that got left out of that original survey, which then they have re-upped every 20 years or so with about the same metrics. And so these stories are going to keep getting omitted. And so that is something that I found fascinating to explore through Robinetta, who is the character who is the foil, who lives in Middletown and has a lot to say about what it means to live in that environment and about what it means to make music in that environment as opposed to New York, which is supposed to be the pinnacle of everything. But as the pandemic has shown us, there's so much amazing, innovative stuff happening all over the place. And New York can be a cultural center of the universe, but it doesn't have to be. Well, the original instrumentation is two violins, harpsichord, and cello or bass. And we had discussed the possibility of adding another color to that for the more contemporary segments. So the way that the overall piece is structured is that it's pretty much Telemann, new, with some new stuff interspersed within the existing Telemann movements. And so we wanted to make a clear distinction, but also a smooth bridge between the older stuff and the newer stuff. And I happened upon this YouTube video of a bassoon choir playing Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. And somehow something clicked in me where I was like, oh, this is an instrument that can easily live in both worlds, but also have this playful quality to it, but then sort of sneak into the original Telemann orchestration when it needs to and feel integral in both ways.